Assalamualaikum class 9. Betty, we are doing chapter number 2, okay, and your topic was left, okay, which we will do today. That is data organization and data analysis, okay, and this topic is given on page number 27, okay, data organization and data analysis, okay. So as we see the topic, we can understand that when we do the experiment, okay, when scientists do the experiment, so then they need to organize the data and then to analysis it, okay. Analysis means to sort out its result. So when different scientists do different experiments, so after end of the experiment, they need to organize the data, okay. So first we will discuss about how data is organized in biology, and then data analysis, and how do they sort out the result, that how result is represented by the other people, okay. In last lecture I have told you the example of malaria with biological steps, observations, hypothesis, reductions, experimentations. Today we will discuss how data is organized, okay. So keep in your mind, data can organize into two types, in two ways. It can organize in two ways. First is called ratio. We can organize data in the form of ratio, okay, and we can organize data in the form of proportion, okay. And these two words are not new for you. Definitely, you also did ratio and proportion in your mathematics, okay. So when we want to organize data, we can follow two methods. First, we can do organize data in the form of ratio, and we can organize data in the form of proportion. Now, question is that what is difference between two? Ratio means to divide a thing into two. Okay, we discuss the quantity in between two things. But proportion is that in which we divide one thing into two. But proportion is that when we get two different ratios and then we comparison between them. Okay, so I will explain you with the help of an example. Okay, for example, ratio means A ratio B. You all of know this is a sign of ratio. But when we talk about proportion, so proportion means there should be two different quantities. There should be two different values. Okay, so it can be A ratio B, it can be C ratio B, and proportion is shown by this one. Okay, so I think you can understand it. What is the difference between two? Ratio means a substance, a thing, a data is divided into two, in which we found their ratio. But proportion is that when we have two different values and we have to sort out the exact proportion. Okay. So first we will discuss. For example, our example is given in your book. Okay. The example is that if you see in your book, example is. For example, there are some malarial patients. Okay, they are saying there are some malarial patients. Okay, so we can take this example. It is given in your book. When our relations between two numbers, it is expected in terms of quotients AB. Okay, it is called the ratio. For example, the ratio between 50 malarial patients and 150 normal persons. Okay, so if we have 50, these are malarial patients. Okay, and there are 150 healthy persons. What are they? They are healthy persons. So if you want to sort out the ratio between two, are malarial patients and 150 are healthy persons. So what we will do? Definitely 0 cut with cut and 5 ones are 5 and 5 threes are 15. So what will be the ratio of these patients? 1:3. It means malarial patients are 1% and healthy persons are 3%. Okay. So in this way, we can sort out the when the scientists collect any data, they can sort out the ratio of that data. Okay. So there are 15 variations and there are 150 healthy persons. So when we sort out the ratio, so 0 cut with 0 and 5 ones are 5, 5 threes are 15. So its ratio will be 1:3. Okay. Now we will discuss about the proportions. What is a proportion? Okay, there is another example is given in your book. Okay, first ratio is given 14:20. Okay, proportion I am explaining you here. Okay, in your book an example is given. If there are 100 sparrows, okay, healthy sparrows. So they are allowed to take bite of malarial patients. Okay, so how many patients were there and she has taken a bite? Okay, but this ratio is not given. But there is another ratio is given that their scientists allow 20 sparrows to take bite of healthy persons. So what was that? 14 becomes ill. What was happened? 14 out of them 14 got malaria. Okay, so they allow mosquitoes to bite 20 sparrows. Okay, so now we will see first ratio. First ratio which is given to us, that is 14 and 20. Okay, 14 and 20. What is 14? 14 are sparrows and 20 are mosquitoes. Okay, so what was given? Both are sparrows. So scientists do the experiment and they allow 20, there were 20 sparrows and they allow the mosquitoes to take bite. Okay, so among 20, out of 20, 14 get ill. Okay, so this was first ratio. Second ratio was that there were 100 sparrows. Okay, how many sparrows were there? There were 100 sparrows, but we never know how many was caught by malaria. Okay, so how do we explain it? So we have to find the three values are given. Okay, if you see the proportion, A ratio, B means first ratio, C ratio, B means second ratio. Okay, so if we see this value, first ratio and second ratio, one value is missing. So we have to find the value of x. So how do we find the value? We will write here 14:20. Okay, then x ratio 100. Okay, so we will write in mathematical form 15/20. Okay, we will write here 14/20 and this sign will convert into is equal to sign and x/100. Okay, so what do we get? By cross multiplication, we will get 20x is equal to 14 multiplied by 100. Okay, so we have to just find the answer of x. So x is equal to 14 into 100 and this 20 will come in this side by divided by division. So 20. So now we will find the answer. 0 cut with 0. Okay, 2 ones are 2, 2 fives are 10. So what will be our answer? X is equal to 14 multiplied by 5. So our answer will be 70 sparrows. So what do we find the answer? We have to find the answer In first ratio, we know this thing, there are 20 healthy sparrows. So when mosquitoes are allowed to take bite, out of 20, 14 get killed. Okay. There was another ratio given, there were 100 sparrows, but we never know how many caught by malaria, how many get killed. So when we do this calculation, we have to sort out that 70 sparrows taken malaria. Okay, so this ratio shows us that out of 20, 14 caught by malaria, and out of 100, 70 sparrows are caught by malaria. Okay, so when scientists want to organize data, they use these two methods. First is ratio. Ratio means divided into two and find the comparison. Okay, so here were 50 malaria patients and 150 healthy persons. So when we taken out the ratio, so the answer comes 1:3. So when we come to the proportion, then we get two different values. Here two values were given. First experiment, they were 20 sparrows, out of 20, 14 were caught by malaria. And there was another value, there were 100 sparrows, and out of 100, how many sparrows were caught by malaria? We never know this thing. So we denote this value by a variable x. So we have to find the answer of x. So we have taken first ratio, out of 20, 14 were caught by, okay, out of 100, how many were caught by, we never know. So we denote them with the value of x. So 14, this value will come in the fraction according to mathematics. So 14 divided by 20 is equal to this proportion sign we convert into is equal to sign, and x divided by 100. Okay, so we have to sort out just the value of x. So we will do the cross multiplication. Okay, so x will multiply by 20, we will get 20x, and 14 multiply by 100. Then because we only need the value of x, so we will divide 20 on both sides. So here 20 will be removed, and we get the equation 14 into 100 divided by 20. So by simplification, when we cut them, we got the answer of x is equal to 70 sparrows. So we get two answers. First is that if out of 20 sparrows, 14 are caught by malaria, and out of 100, 70 sparrows were caught by malaria. Okay. So these examples are given in your book. So in this way, the scientists organize their data, and then at the end, data analysis. Data analysis means you have to tell the answer. So if we see this ratio, we can see there were 150 people, among them a healthy person, malaria patients were 1%, and healthy persons were 3%. So what data analysis we have taken up, that the ratio between these two different categories 1:3. Okay, and in second proportion we have taken up the result that there were ratio of sparrows were different in two experiments. In first there were 20 sparrows, and out of 20, 14 were caught by malaria, and then in second experiment there were 100 sparrows, and out of them 70 were caught by malaria. Okay, so the scientists get the result. This is called data analysis. So this data arranged in the computational form, in a computer, in a statistical form, in a technical form. This study is called bioinformatics. Okay, you can also see in your page number 28. There is another topic is given, mathematics as an integral part of scientific process. Okay, so bioinformatics, this is given. The last line of your page, bioinformatics refers to the computational and statistical techniques for the analysis of biological data. So when scientists organize the data, then they arrange their data for analysis in a computational form, in a computer, in the form of graphs, in the form of pictures, or any way, or any other way, and statistical techniques. Okay, we all of know we can tell their frequency, we can tell their and we can show in the form of step. Okay, so this study is called bioinformatics. So you have to underline the definition of bioinformatics in your book. This is given page number 28, last line of your page. Okay, now your lecture has been ended and I hope you understand the chapter number 2 completely. Okay, so in chapter number 2, now I will give you the review again. We have discussed in chapter number 2 about biological method. I have told you when scientists saw any biological problem, then they began to study over it. So how they start the study? First, they do the observation, and definitely when we start observation, our five senses help us. First, we see the biological problem, then we sort out informations about it. Okay, so at that time, our five senses, our tongue, our taste, our hearing, our vision, all are working, and then the scientists take out the biological problem. After when observations are collected, okay, then scientists make a hypothesis. Okay, hypothesis 50% can be true and 50% can be false. If this hypothesis is 50% true, then the scientists make deduction. It means they take out more ideas from that hypothesis. And when these ideas are confirmed, then they start experimentation. Actually, experiments means to refuse that deduction or hypothesis. But after experimentation, if this is true, then it becomes a theory, and this theory is presented by in the form of summary and result. Okay. So after that, we have discussed about biological method with an example of malaria. When there was a scientist A.F. King, he did observations and he made 20 observations. Among them, he tells us that the people who slept under the trees, the people who slept in outdoors, they have more chances of malaria as compared to those people who slept indoors. Okay. Second, he told the people who slept near to smoky and fire area, they have less chances of malaria as compared to those who are far away from smoky areas. Okay, and the people who use fine nets, they have less chances of malaria as compared to those who do not use fine nets. So after 18 observations, there was a hypothesis was made that malaria can cause of plasmodium. Okay, and I have told you in a detail about plasmodium, that plasmodium is produced in our stomach of female mosquito Anopheles. Okay, and why it is produced? Because these are thread-like structures, and why it takes bite of a healthy person? Because it needs blood. And why it needs blood? It needs blood for maturation of their eggs, and when it takes bite of a person, in return, it injects plasmodium in the body of a healthy person. And this plasmodium divide and re-divide very frequently after every 20 minutes in a healthy person, and the person is caught by malaria. Okay. And Warner Ross, there was a scientist, he did experiments after hypothesis, he did experiment, and he did two experiments. First, he did on sparrows. Okay, and he take Anopheles mosquito and he allowed to take bite of a healthy mosquitoes. So what was happened? Some mosquitoes were died and some were alive. So the sparrows which were died, he opened their body and he observed that in their blood the plasmodiums are going to be multiplied. Okay, so this was proved that plasmodiums are responsible for the infection of malaria. Okay, so after that experimentation, then they take another sparrow, its name was Tulis, and they allow to take bite of a healthy person. And when they observe 100 malaria patients, blood of malaria patient, then they are observed that all malaria patients have plasmodium in their blood. So this was proved that plasmodium is the main cause of malaria, and malaria can be treated by different vaccines and different antibiotics. After that, I have told you how can we organize data and data analysis, which have discussed today. We can discuss data organization in two ways: ratio and proportion. Okay, and I have told you how can we get the answer. And after that, these ratios are analysis. Okay, analyze. Okay, and analyze and when these are analyzed in the form of computational and statistical techniques, so that study is called bioinformatics. So this was the summary of your chapter number 2. I hope you understand. Okay. Now we will start the exercise. To come to the exercise, please hold your books with you and hold pencils in your hands. We can see page number 29. Please take along page number 29. Okay. Page number 29, question number 1. Multiple choice questions. Okay, also see on the board. Question number 1. Okay, which one of the following is a correct sequence in biological method? Okay, so which one is a correct sequence of biological method? So I have told you biological method, first observation part, if we go in order. Second, hypothesis, then reduction, then experiments, okay, then experiments, and then summary and reports. Okay, so we will see the sequence. A part, observation, hypothesis, law, and theory. This is wrong. Number 2, B option, hypothesis, observations, deductions, experiments is also wrong because observation comes first. Okay, and last D part is law, theory, deduction. All this is also wrong. So the correct answer is C part. Observations, hypothesis, deduction, and experimentation. Okay, so mark in your book question number 1. Option C is the right answer. Question number 1. Option C is the right answer. Now come to question number 2. Which one of these is not a characteristic of a hypothesis? Is not a characteristic. Okay, if you keep in your mind, we also discuss the characteristic of good hypothesis in chapter. Okay, it must be quantitative explanation, it must be simple, okay, and other characteristics. Now we will see the options. Number 1, must be consistent with all variable with all available data. No. Must be testable. No. Must make predictions. No. The option C is correct. Must be correct. Okay, option C is the right answer. Must be correct. Now we will go to question number 3. At which point is a biologist most likely to use reasoning? Okay, you have to tell that point कि किस point पे जाते साइंटिस्ट जो हैं reasoning को use करते हैं, logic को use करते हैं, ठीक है? So we will see the options. First, while taking observations, no. When we are doing observation, we are just using vision, hearing, smell, taste, and other things. Second option is that B, during hypothesis formulation. C, during data organization. This is the last step of the biological method. No. For D part, none of the above. Okay. So the right answer is option B. During hypothesis formulation. When did they use logic? When did they use reasoning? When they are formulating the hypothesis. So option B is the right answer. Question number 3, option B is the right answer. Question number 4. A hypothesis must be testable to be scientifically valid. Being testable means that dash. Okay. In this question they are saying कि जो hypothesis must be correct. and we can perform experiment if. What options are given? Some observation to prove the hypothesis incorrect. This is wrong answer. Option B. Only a controlled experiment can indicate whether the hypothesis is correct or incorrect. Yes, this is true. I have told you when we discussed about the experimentation, I have told you scientists when start experiments, they divide to take out its accurate result, they divide for to get the correct information. They make on two groups. First is called experimental group, and other is called control group. Okay, experimental group are those in which they produce environment according to their needs. But control group are have free hand and they are allowed. And to also discuss an example, if you want to see the necessity of carbon dioxide in photosynthesis process, at that time scientists made two groups. In one group, they allow the plants to take carbon dioxide freely from the environment, and that was called control group. And in experimental group, the plants are not allowed to take carbon dioxide freely from the environment. So what was the result? Definitely the plants which were in control group, they get more carbon dioxide and they do more photosynthesis as compared to experimental group. So keep in your mind that example. So options are some observation could prove the hypothesis incorrect. This is wrong answer. Okay, only a controlled experiment can indicate whether the hypothesis is correct or incorrect. This is the right answer. Definitely, when we do an experiment and when we put that and when we make two groups, experimental and control group. So control group can give us more accurate results as compared to experimental groups. And C option, the hypothesis is proven wrong. Wrong answer. B part, the opposite of hypothesis is tested and proven wrong. This is also wrong answer. So question number 4, the right option is B. Question number 4, the right option is B. Please mark in your book. Now come to question number 5. What would be the best experimental design for testing a hypothesis that being plants required sodium? Okay. So, which experiment tells us that bean plant needs more sodium? Definitely, sodium is a part of plant growth. Okay, so we have to observe whether we should grow plants with sodium, whether we should grow plants without sodium. Okay, now we will see the options. Question number 5. A option, measure the amount of sodium in a few bean plants. Wrong answer. Option B, grow bean plants with and without sodium. This is the right answer. We should observe both plants, that we should grow with sodium and we should not grow with sodium. Okay. Now we will see the C option, look for sodium in a leaf tissue. Wrong answer. D option, analyze root contains for sodium. This is also wrong answer. So what is the right answer? Question number 5. B is the right answer. Grow bean plants with and without sodium. Question number 5. B part is the right answer. Question number 5. Now we will come to question number 6. Question number 6. A gardener sees a large snake nearby. Okay. He knows that generally snakes sting, so the gardener ran away. The gardener did which of the following? Definitely, he used his observation. We also know this thing. When a farmer saw a large snake near to him, so what was happened? And he know this thing that it can sting, so he ran away. So what did he do? Definitely, at that time, he never do experiment. He never make a hypothesis. He never make a deduction. He just used his observation. He see the snake and he take a decision to run away. Okay, so at that time he used his observation. Now we will see the options. Question number 6. Number 1 is used reasoning. Wrong answer. Option B, used observations. Option C, constructed a theory. This is not possible. D, testing a hypothesis. This is also not possible. So the right answer of question number 6 is B part. Used observation. Used observation. Okay. Now come to question number 7. Question number 7 is that a scientific theory has which of the following properties? Okay, which properties a scientific theory should have? Now, option A is that question number 7. It agrees with available evidence. Okay, the evidence which is given, which is matched to the environment, we should follow it. B part, it cannot be rejected. This is wrong. It can be rejected. It has been absolutely proven. No. Option B, it does not need to be altered in the light of new evidence. This is also wrong. So the right answer of question number 7 is A part. It agrees with available evidences. Okay. So question number 7, part A is the right answer. Now come to question number 8. Question number 8, experimentation is only a step of the scientific process, but it is a very important because it always. Yes, we all of know the basic step of biological method is experiment. Okay, so experimentation is only a step of the scientific process, but it is a very important because it always. Options are gives the biologist a correct result. B option allows rejections of some alternative hypothesis wrong. Option C ensures that hypothesis can be confirmed with certainty wrong. Option D gives scientists a chance to work in the laboratory. This is also wrong option. So the right answer is that gives the biologist a correct result. Why do we do more and more experiments? Answer is very simple. Scientists perform experiments again and again to get accurate results. Okay, its good example is a corona pandemic. We all of know is vaccine comes after 1.5 years. Why? Because scientists are trying the vaccines which are they making. They are trying on different human beings and different animals. Okay, and they have taken trial many times. So when they are confirmed, when they are agreed, then these vaccines comes into a market. Okay, so like that, when scientists start experiments, okay, so they do experiments again and again. Why? To get more perfect and accurate results. Okay, so question number 8. Option A is the right answer. Gives the biologist a correct result. Question number 8. Option A is the right answer. Now come to question number 9. This is the last MCQ of your chapter number 2. Question number 9. Come to next page, page number 30. You are testing a hypothesis. Okay, so keep in your mind hypothesis and this statement. Students learn more if they drink tea before sitting for study. Okay, they were doing the experiment and they came to know the students who drank tea before the study, they did study good. Your 20 experiment students drink tea before study and you test their learning by giving questions. And your 20 students of the control group should have all experimental conditions identical to the experiments group except that. Okay, so we have to sort out the difference between two groups. One group has taken tea and they have given the questions and they perform very good, and the other students have not taken tea and they have also have given the same question paper. So what was the right answer? So options are given. Option A, they should take tea with more milk and sugar. No. Second option B, they should take tea before as well as during study. No. Option C, they should not take tea before study. And option D, after taking tea, they should not sit for study. So the option C is the right answer. Why option C is the right answer? There are two groups. One who has taken the tea and they have given a question paper and they solved it very good. Okay, that was perfect. And the second was control book. They have not taken B, but they have given a question paper and they cannot perform well. So this study and hypothesis tells us the students who has taken B and do the question answers. So they were successful. Okay, so you have to keep in your mind this hypothesis and have to give us the answer. Now we have done all 9 questions. I am repeating the answers again. Question number 1, option C is the right answer. Question number 2, option C is the right answer. Question number 3, B is the right answer. Question number 4, B is again right answer. Question number 5, again B is the right answer. Question number 6, again B is the right answer. Question number 7 is A answer, right answer A. Question number 8, option A is the right answer, and question number 9, option C is the right answer. So I hope you understand today's lecture. Inshallah, the remaining part of exercise we will do in our next chapter. Okay, thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.